Alright, so we got an internet anarchist video here that was recommended to me. Khaby Lame's career is basically dead, but why? Isn't this a meme dude? I'm pretty sure this is a meme guy. Maybe I'm wrong. His face seems familiar, but that's about it. Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. We'll jump in. Yeah, I got no idea. Right above the 10-minute mark. Internet Anarchist, didn't you know that nowadays you only need 8? Anyways, let's see. Who is it? He sounds familiar. His name sounds familiar, and he looks familiar, but I don't know who that is.
At one point in his career, Khaby
Lami, I just butchered that name. I just murdered that name. Yeah, he seems familiar. That face, like, meme. He's a meme.
Was everywhere, from partnering with some of the world's biggest brands.
Damn, Pepsi and Xbox, interesting.
To famous athletes striking his iconic pose for celebration, and even Fortnite releasing his very own skin. He seemed to
Fortnite is just a collab game at this point. It's just a collab game. Yo, Fortnite, want a collab?
have conquered the internet, and this fame ultimately helped him become the biggest TikTok star in the world, with more than
161 million followers on TikTok. That is diabolical. Wow, not bad.
160 million followers, but lately that crown has started to slip. He's losing hundreds of thousands of followers
monthly. What is happening? What did he do? Usually it must be something very big. What did he do?
Month after month, and the general sentiment regarding his content has never been more negative.
It's time to retire, Unk. Unk's still dragging it. Interesting. So is it because he's just, did his content become stale? Is that what it is? I wouldn't call it hate. He's not being hated, that's for sure. But there's something going on.
At this rate, this might just be the end of Khaby Lami's massive TikTok empire. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we are talking.
As far as I'm aware, Internet Anarchist is also Australian. So, homie, how is it that, like, essentially a large portion of your audience can no longer watch you? I wonder, because that's very interesting, right?
About the possible downfall of TikTok's biggest star, and uncovering why the internet turned against Khaby Lami. Let me know that you're still on my side by subscribing, and let's get on with the video. But before we can understand his downfall, we need to look
unless you're under 16.
Back at what made him so big in the first place. Khaby Sirijin Lami, or Khaby Lami, was born in Senegal on March 9th, 2000. A year later, his family moved to Italy, settling in a poor area outside of the city Turin. These circumstances marked most of Khaby's early life with financial struggles and limited opportunities. After school,
so he essentially started out as somebody who had nothing. I don't know exactly what he did, that's the thing, but Internet Anarchist is gonna get over this.
He started working as a CNC machine operator at a factory to help support his family. But when the COVID pandemic hit, he was laid off in March 2020 and suddenly found himself stuck at home. And that's when he started posting on TikTok. His early videos were mostly him dancing and doing short comedy sketches. Even though these videos did fairly well, earning him over 4,000 followers in the first month,
Mi spiegate perché su TikTok siamo così?
There was one problem. Khaby only knew Italian.
Cazzi, buongiorno. Buongiorno, un paio di cazzi. Oggi voglio interrogare.
And that language barrier
yeah, that limits you, right? That's why a lot of people go oftentimes just English, even if that's not their right. You are really limited, because right, you are really limited, right? Because essentially most people speak English, or in some way, shape, or capacity. So he probably learned English, right? Or that's like the only way.
Limited his reach, so he started experimenting with videos where he didn't have to speak at all, opening him up to a more global audience. But
that is also an alternative. Interesting. That is also an alternative. Okay.
The real breakthrough came on April 8th, 2021, when he posted a video reacting to a life hack.
Life hack, by the way. Why? Yeah, he's right. You can literally just do that. So yeah, it's really just he's very much just a TikTok-esque creator. That makes sense though.
This otherwise simple video went viral overnight, gaining over 200 million
Bro, TikTok is on steroids when it comes to that. But as far as I'm aware, they also pay pretty measly if you're in the lower end.
views and over 32 million likes. Building on that momentum, he posted a few more similar videos in the following days.
Yeah, some of these life hacks are literally not life hacks. They're not They make everything more complicated than they actually need to be. Yeah, there was a time that was very much around that time where people were posting different kind of life hacks, and they essentially just made everything worse and harder than it needed to be.
And each one of these pulled similar numbers, turning him into an internet sensation practically overnight. To give you an idea of just how big of a phenomenon Khaby was, he gained over 50 million followers, a number most won't reach in their lifetime in less than 2 months.
That's diabolical. That is diabolical. To be fair, though, this was during the pandemic, right? To be fair. Which means most people were using the internet, right? To entertain themselves, right? It does make sense that he would blow up in this time because, well, very much, right, COVID.
With every upload now pulling tens of millions, sometimes even hundreds of millions of views, people loved his unique style of comedy and deadpan reactions, but more importantly, his silence made him relatable across every language and culture. He spoke 1,000 words without opening his mouth. My guy just explained everything with no words. This global appeal also came with massive partnership potential, and brands were quick to notice. By August 2021, he was collaborating with Italy's biggest soccer team to create content, and just months later signed a multi-year deal with Hugo Boss. But Khaby's meteoric rise wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Behind the viral fame and brand deals, a few controversies began threatening his perfect image. Like in August 2021, right after he crossed the 100 million followers mark, some of his old clips resurfaced on the internet, showing him
Really? Really? Okay.
making fun of people for their appearances.
I don't. Can we really call this a controversy? Can we really? Can we really? I wouldn't consider this a controversy. This is literally just every dude. This is just every dude. It's just every dude.
This understandably upset some viewers, who called him out for body shaming. Can't believe I even followed him. Body shaming is so disgusting. That's so rude, I can't believe he would do that.
No, that is really not a big deal whatsoever. I can guarantee you all three of these accounts, all three of these people have body shamed someone.
Soon, entire accounts dedicated to cancelling Khaby started popping up on TikTok. Some fans defended him, arguing that he shouldn't be banned over jokes he made long ago. You guys are so dramatic, this was 8 months ago. Y'all getting mad over something a year ago. But as it turned out, the cancellation attempt wasn't even real. You see, Charli D'Amelio was still the most followed TikToker, but Khaby was quickly closing in and it looked like he'd surpass her soon. Allegedly, this caused a large number of her fans to begin flaming.
Yeah, classic non-issue. Very much a non-issue. Very much a non-issue, not a big deal. Wow. Crazy.
Khaby, hoping he'll stagnate before passing their favorite creator. They're cancelling Khaby because he's gonna pass Charlie. In the end, the controversy didn't last long, and the accusations barely made a dent in Khaby's unstoppable rise. But soon, Khaby would find himself at the center of an even stranger allegation. Just weeks after the body shaming controversy, some people suddenly started unfollowing him on Instagram on October 6, 2021. This happened after he posted a story that read, "Say no to racism," and his next story revealed how some of his followers were bizarrely angry about his anti-racist stance. I'm seeing a lot of comments where people say, "I unfollow you because you did this video." I don't mind, guys, we are almost in 2022 and people still use racism because they have nothing to do in their life. You can also unfollow me. I don't care about the numbers, I care about your hearts. He followed this with an Instagram post where he was helping a white person pull a sword out of the ground, stating, "In a racist society, it's not enough to be non-racist, we must be anti-racist." Though, despite the backlash, these petty scandals did little to slow him down, as he continued growing.
See, what I believe here is the problem is not that these people are racist or anything. It's just that, like, once you start doing this, posting more political stuff, in a sense, this alienates people because they're essentially, like, they have no... They follow you for, they follow you for your comedy, not for, essentially virtue signaling, which at the end of the day is what it is. When racism terms still had effect. True, back then when racism allegations or "you are racist" had still worked.
At an incredible pace. By June 2022, Khaby Lame had officially become the biggest creator on TikTok with over 142 million followers to his name. That same year, he also earned a spot on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list, and went on to win the International Content Creator category at the 12th Streamy Awards. This also allowed him to partner with some of the biggest brands in the world, such as Xbox, Pepsi, and Kellogg's.
Oh, no way! Free exclusive character item?
He has also continued his spot at the top of TikTok over the years, but recently, Khaby's unstoppable reign on TikTok is slipping right through his fingers. Since August 2024, his account has been on a losing streak, shedding a huge number of followers almost every—
But why? What caused this? Is it really just a result of content getting stale? Like, if the controversies didn't do anything, then I'm curious what causes this.
every single month. To put things into perspective, he's lost 500,000 followers in the last 2 months alone. And it's not just the followers. Most of his recent uploads are also struggling to cross.
Okay, let's see. Almost 1,000,000, 800k, 600k, 3.1, 2.9, 7.2. Yeah, they are struggling a little.
The 10 million views mark. And while those numbers might sound impressive for most creators, they're a massive drop from the tens of millions of views he was pulling just a couple of years ago. Scrolling through his comment sections on his recent uploads paints an even more alarming picture, with most of the top comments being nothing but negative. "It's time to retire, Unk." Unk's still dragging it. Even the ones that aren't outright hating are only there to declare just how much they miss the old Khaby Lame. So what exactly is pulling TikTok's biggest star down this path of irrelevancy? One possible reason for this sudden drop might be the simple fact that Khaby just isn't posting as much anymore. At his peak, he was uploading every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, but now it's only a few videos each month. And even then, most of these posts are clearly sponsored. But the real reason behind his decline might go a lot deeper than that. The thing is, ever since Khaby first blew up, his content has largely stayed the same. For nearly—
What I was saying, it has become stale. That is what I was saying. It has become stale, and since it is stale, the people are essentially tired, and the algorithm is tired, and like you get the idea. It's probably a multitude of things. It's for once, everything is sponsored. Less uploads, probably still same quality though, right? I feel like you can do less uploads, but then the quality needs to increase. Reverse, if you upload more, usually quality is gonna suffer a little. Yeah, it is just this content became stale. Very much.
For years, he's been doing the same comedy sketches and reaction-style videos, pointing out obvious solutions with the same old deadpan expression. While that formula once made him a global sensation, it's starting to feel repetitive, and people have grown tired of seeing it on their For You page. Khaby Lame is extremely overrated, and I don't get what makes his content funny or original. All his videos are basically just stealing someone's video, then adding his reaction at the end, which is basically him doing a duck face while pulling out some dry joke that people somehow find hilarious. Many also think that he's now forcing the formula by reacting to life hacks that are clearly meant to be jokes in the first place. I liked his intention at the beginning, with the rise of stupid life hacks on TikTok, but now he is really out of ideas and totally misses the point of some TikToks. 90% of TikToks are low effort, and completely missing the point of TikToks he is making fun of. And that might just explain the sudden decline in his followers. Khaby's silent comedy worked at the start because it was new, but after years of milking it with little to no innovation, it has lost its charm, leaving Khaby stuck in a strange spot. He's grown so big that anytime he posts, he risks boring out some of his old audience, but changing it might alienate the followers who made him famous in the first place. That said, maybe that's fine. Maybe this decline isn't as bad as it seems at a first glance, because while his numbers on TikTok are dropping, Khaby seems to be setting his sights beyond social media. He has already made his big TV debut by becoming a judge in the 13th season of Italia's Got Talent.
Okay, interesting. So here is the situation. If he reinvents himself, yes, that may alienate some people, but as long as the quality is still there, he could have a chance to reverse the situation. But I think at the end of the day, does it even matter? I am pretty sure this man has so much money. He could retire effortlessly retire. He could effortlessly retire without much problem. I think this is pretty much a big nothing burger. People have always, like social media, people have always come and, they always come, they always go, right? Yeah. You have like the, sorry. You have like the Hawk Tour girl, blows up, dies immediately. Right, you have this like constantly where like people blow up and die immediately. Like 2 months later, nobody knows who they are.
Earlier this year, he was also invited to the Met Gala, allowing him to share the red carpet with some of the biggest names in pop culture, and he's even started to make his way into Hollywood, appearing in a cameo role in the Will Smith movie Bad Boys.
See, you putting your gun away? He's putting his gun away.
Khaby has often talked about his dream of working in movies, and with reports of his very own film 00 Khaby now in the works, that dream might finally be turning into a reality.
Interesting. I fear box office failure though, or slop. I don't know. Hi A, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hello.
So while his TikTok era may be slowing down, Khaby Lame's story might just be entering a brand new.
Okay. Here's what I believe. This is just like, he's been very big for quite some time, right? Eventually, the truth strikes, and the reality sets in that you're not gonna grow forever. His content has become stale. It's just a natural progression of things. And to be fair, it doesn't matter. If he retires, he retires. And he has plenty of money. He doesn't necessarily need to continue making content, right? So at the end of the day, losing followers doesn't matter all that much, realistically. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.